This video features high-end, limited edition collectibles and is intended for adult collectors. Hey guys, welcome to Toy Chat. This is Max.
And Sang.
So, Integrity Toys fans, you probably clicked on this video because you'd like to know whether you should or shouldn't join the Integrity Toys W Club. If for whatever reason you're not familiar with Integrity Toys and you don't know how you found yourself here, we will link in the description below everything you need to know about the adult collector luxury doll brand, including our full playlist of other Integrity Toys videos, as well as the link to the official Integrity Toys website. 2 years ago in 2019, Sang and I posted a video to our channel titled Should You Join the W Club? Pros and Cons. Now that we've gained a few more years of experience with the W Club, including a pandemic club year and virtual convention, we wanted to share with you all an updated and a little bit more concise set of reasons as to why you shouldn't or should join the W Club.
So a brief overview of the W Club. It is a year-long membership to a club that has all information, exclusive dolls for Integrity Toys. While it's a year-long membership, there is a brief period of time that you can sign up, which is currently happening right now for this year, 2021. So we'll list the time frame for this year, but again, check back with them every year because they'll have a different date of when you can sign up. Generally speaking, it's a very short period of time. So once this date has passed, you can no longer sign up.
So first, we're going to cover the positives or pros of joining the W Club. In other words, reasons why you should join the W Club. So as a W Club member, you will have early and in some cases exclusive information to new dolls that are coming out for the club year. And in most cases, there is a 24-hour confidentiality period, meaning that W Club members will know about releases from Integrity Toys for a full day prior to the general public. Something important to know about this is many of these dolls, including those sold to general Integrity Toys dealers, can sell out during the confidentiality period. So if you're interested in very, very popular Integrity Toys brands like Poppy Parker and Fashion Royalty, if you want a shot at purchasing these dolls, you really should be a member of the W Club. So after joining the W Club, you can expect a lot of emails, so definitely make sure to be checking your inbox, and you can also expect to be receiving sneak peeks every once in a while for upcoming releases, which is exclusive information to W Club members. So you might get to see little snippets or photos or hints of dolls that will not be released for several months out.
Not only are you getting these emails, you are getting exclusive video, exclusive interviews with the designers. So there is a period of time where you can ask questions to the designers and they'll be on the W Club forums answering your questions as well. Next up, perk number 2. With the W Club membership, you do have a guaranteed 5 exclusive dolls that are strictly for the club. So it will only be available to the club members and not to any dealers. Of the 5 dolls, you are guaranteed 2 Poppy Parker dolls, 1 Fashion Royalty, and 1 New Face doll, and a 5th surprise doll, which is generally speaking New Face or FR. You also have opportunities for lottery dolls. So these are dolls that are raffled off to the club members. So generally speaking, there's a certain amount of dolls made exclusively for the W Club, and members can enter to win the right to buy these dolls. It is wildly varied. Poppy Parker lotteries can be super sought after. So even if you have a membership, you're not guaranteed to win, or if it's something less desirable like a Monarch doll, you are pretty much guaranteed to win one. They even sometimes even offer discounts for lottery dolls. After all the winners are selected, you get a discount, and when it's available to the general public, it'll be at a higher price.
Yes, and right to buy lottery wins are non-transferable directly, but once you have the right to buy, you can have that doll shipped wherever you'd like, or alternatively, if you want to have it shipped to yourself, you can do whatever you want with it once you have it. Obviously, because these lotteries are so competitive, being in the W Club does not guarantee that you're going to have a shot at all of these dolls. It just greatly increases your odds, because with these really popular lotteries, you can still expect it to be a rat race, even if you're a W Club member.
So there's a monthly contest that Integrity does that they offer usually really older, rare dolls that they have in the back catalog, and you enter via the W Club forums where they'll have like a monthly topic or discussion, and you enter your own response to it and they'll select a winner. The last thing that's exclusive to the W Club is a $25 discount So they give you a coupon for signing up. So again, the membership is $50, but you do get a $25 coupon. So it's a great value. Not only are you just flat out paying pretty much $50, you are getting a discount on a future purchase.
Perk number 3. W Club members will have priority access to the annual Integrity Toys conventions, which of course some of you may already be familiar with the fact that 2020's convention was a virtual one, which if you want to learn more about that experience and how it differed quite a bit from the in-person convention experiences, you can check out the links to our convention coverage videos in the description below. But historically speaking, these tickets sell out among the W Club members point blank. So if you are just a member of the general doll collecting population, chances are extremely high you will not have a shot at all, period, at getting into the Integrity Toys convention, because historically speaking, the past several years, to our knowledge, these tickets have sold out among W Club members before they were ever able to go to the rest of the public.
Yes, last year's convention sold out within minutes, and it probably was sold out even quicker, but their website couldn't handle it and it crashed. It is very competitive to get into their conventions.
Yes, the largest Integrity Toys convention to date was 700.
Yeah, 700, 750, around there.
Yeah, and that only happened because of an error on the website. They actually expanded the attendee limit, but for 2020 it was the usual, 500 ballpark. So if you don't make it in that amount of people, you can't attend the convention.
So reason number 4 to join the club is the very exclusive W Club forums. So this forum is exclusive to members, and you can discuss various topics in terms of doll lines, as well as upload photos that you've taken, and they have a wealth of archives on there, so you can look back at older photos and other older topics, as well as, general questions you have about the company, or if you have a question like, why does Eden's shoes don't fit correctly? Someone will probably answer you. So it's a great way to be part of a community, but you have to keep in mind that the club is a privilege and it's an exclusive perk of the membership. So a lot of things on there are confidential. So you cannot discuss it among your other friends who aren't on there, and you cannot share any information or any discussions you had with other people on there. One of the great things that both me and Max have taken advantage about the forums is they have their own little marketplace that is a great way if you're looking for a particular doll or you're trying to sell a certain doll. It's a lot cheaper than other places like eBay.
Yeah, generally speaking, folks on the W Club forums, obviously this isn't always the case, but for most people it's really easy to open lines of communication, and people are friendlier for the most part, so you'll come across, rather than the really ridiculous spiked resale prices on eBay, things that are more reasonable, so great perk for collectors. All right, so now that we've covered the core pros and positives of joining the W Club, we're gonna move on to cons and certain things you should keep in mind that may make the W Club not be for you. So con number 1, Integrity Toys has a tendency to cluster these releases very close together, so even if you think you're good, oh, I'm only interested in Poppy and FR or something like that, chances are that there is a good likelihood that both of those lines, new dolls for them, are going to be announced at the same time, very often within the same email, and you're going to have to be making the same dealer phone calls or going on the websites to pre-order these dolls. And that is a pretty common occurrence. So you kind of have to prepare yourself that a lot of this stuff is going to come all at once. It's not really going to be like, oh, this will be nicely and evenly distributed and broken up throughout the year with some, breathing room. That's not how Integrity Toys tends to work.
It's totally random, because sometimes I'll go pick up dolls from our local shop and okay, here's 5 dolls for you this time, and sometimes you go months without a single release, and then 1 or 2 dolls will pop up.
To summarize, be prepared for the potential of things getting overwhelming and the overall unpredictability of these announcements and releases.
And you have to keep in mind that these dolls really add up in terms of space as well. They seem, early on so compact and so easy to tuck in somewhere, but it really adds up. Con number 2, a lot of these dolls that you're receiving information on in emails have long wait times. So they're not available right away. So you might be ending up waiting a couple months to a year for some of these dolls. So they have a habit of, sending this email so you can pre-order from your dealer or from IT. With these wait times, you are putting down a deposit for them. So it might not seem like a lot of money at first, but once these dolls start coming in, you don't know what your finances are, 3 to a year from when they are released. And with the production issues in China and just overall delays in terms of international shipping, you might not be seeing these dolls for a really long time, even after you paid for it. Shipping with the USPS has been really slow because of the pandemic. So some of these dolls, like if you are really hungry for dolls, you might not see these dolls for a long time.
Yes, as Sang mentioned, this issue pertains particularly to international collectors. I think we were actually asked on our last video about this subject if it's worth it if you're an international fan, and that will vary quite a bit depending on your means of shipping. If you happen to have any other investment in American-based companies or brands or shipments, you might want to base it on that, how quickly things arrive to you.
And where you're located too. Like some places receive things from the United States a lot quicker, some places receive them a lot slower, and you yourself have to look into is there any custom fees you have to pay for these dolls being shipped in? And something on that kind of topic, if you are trying to ask for a replacement, it's not going to be replaced from the United States. So it's not going to be the same means of shipment. So their replacement center is in Canada. So it's another something you have to consider as well.
Another thing to keep in mind, to Sang's point, is these deposits you put down on future dolls, as well as entering the right to buy lotteries. These are not things you can back out of without consequence. The deposits are non-refundable, and the right to buy lotteries, if you choose to back out of it and not pay for the doll, you may receive penalties from the W Club. They could ban you. You may be banned from future lotteries. So these are commitments that you're tied to.
Yeah, and it's actually really scary sometimes because obviously you are making your purchases based off a promo image, but the production doll, the dolls that actually are being released, might look different. I mean, there was Hairgate where one of the girls' hair was too short than her promo images and people didn't like that. Some of the colors are different with the production dolls. Maybe there's a widespread eye wonk issue with these dolls. So you are purchasing without actually seeing them. Sometimes, the designers will have the doll in hand, which is really nice. They started doing that recently. But these promo images are not super reliable sometimes.
Con number 3, your priorities and level of interest in the brand. So needless to say, those who know Integrity Toys know they have been around for decades now, and they have released a variety of different types of dolls, and many of these lines have withstood the test of time, and they've also done certain collaborations in the past. They've done RuPaul dolls, they've partnered with Hasbro, but certain things they've done have lessened over time. We've seen much less of the OMS, the boy dolls. We're seeing more of the Monarchs now instead. So if you happen to identify a particular line or a particular doll or aspect of Integrity Toys that you like, but you're not finding a whole lot of interest in everything else, you may want to do a little bit more research into the company as a whole and the different types of things they offer before you make the investment of the W Club. And this is speaking for myself, this is speaking as someone who I started collecting Integrity Toys because of almost exclusively the OMS. They were offering, something really unique to the doll world in terms of their male dolls, and they don't really make OMS much anymore. Obviously, my tastes have evolved, and I like quite a bit more now, and Integrity Toys is a very diverse company, overall, with a lot of different doll lines. But if only one line or one character is resonating with you, or, you have really no intention of engaging with the community or making a longer term investment, then the W Club may not be worth it in your case.
All right, our fourth and last con, or things to consider. Integrity Toys, again, as Max said, is a luxury brand. So their dolls are not cheap. and with rising costs of making them, it's just getting worse every year. Everyone's finances are different, and it involves, like for us, saving a lot of money for these purchases, but is it something that you can handle? Some of these dolls, you have to consider non-top just purchasing them. It's like shipping to you. It's just an overwhelming amount of dolls to purchase. Overall, it's going to be a ton of money, and then we're paying shipping and taxes on them. So it's not a cheap hobby, especially what's going on in the world. It is something you have to consider, okay, I'm cool with paying $25 to deposit on this doll. Can I be certain that I can pay the remaining balance when this doll comes in? It's something to consider. It is a very expensive hobby. There's another form of dolls that they have made to order. So you are paying a deposit, and then these dolls take an even longer time because they are producing it for you. It is a lot of money to be thinking in the moment as well as in advance. So if you are a type of person who cannot save, like me, if you have an issue with like saving, like, okay, I need to save this amount of money per month or per week in order to purchase this doll 5 months from now. And again, with delays and stuff, it could be 12 months from now. And then am I going to be, a good boy and be able to just set that money aside or not?
It's really easy to spend a lot of money in a very short amount of time. You may need to send out these orders and reserves to your dealer of choice right away, which means prices can add up really quickly. And Integrity Toys is a luxury brand. You're going to be spending as of 2021, the prices have been inflating over time. They did recently add the basic edition dolls, which are very simple, and those are $99, but that is a unique exception. For the most part, you're going to be spending a minimum of $130, $150, $160 plus per doll, and obviously that adds up very quickly. So you definitely do need to keep in mind what your budget is and what you're comfortable spending, because once you learn about these dolls and you see them, the temptation can be hard to resist, and on top of that, you're on a ticking clock, because as we said, a lot of these sell out very quickly. So if you happen to be a person with a tighter doll budget and you think you might only be splurging on one Integrity Toys doll per year or less, then the W Club might not be for you.
So to conclude, it is really up to you on what your priorities are and if it's worth it. And I'm pretty sure if you're watching the video, you're probably gonna sign up. But it is a very expensive brand. Max and I also have some questions from some of our friends and followers on Instagram about things that they want us to talk about.
So one of the questions I was asked on Instagram is, how accessible are the dolls even with a membership? And we already kind of touched on this, that in joining the W Club, you are definitely not guaranteeing yourself all of these dolls. You're just dramatically increasing your chances, or in some cases, slightly increasing your chances. Because there are still a lot of the lottery dolls, as we mentioned before, and ordinarily, we didn't have the convention lottery dolls for the virtual convention, but in prior years, attending the convention, having a ticket for that doesn't even guarantee you all of the dolls within the convention. So there's kind of tiers of opportunities and chances, some of which is luck based and kind of, chance based. And so you do have to be kind of prepared. And this is something to consider as a pro or a con as well, that there is definitely some competition for these dolls. And I think especially in 2020, 2021, we've seen the market get a little bit intense. Some of the resale prices for some of these dolls got really crazy, and obviously with resales, it's all about supply and demand. And
a lot of people are at home and they're bored and they have money to spend sometimes. Yes. The W Club is not Integrity Toys. They strictly are only allowing you 5 exclusive dolls that IT are making for them, as well as lottery dolls and their monthly contests. So that portion is exclusive to W Club. But these dealer dolls or dolls that are made available to the general public or their website is pretty much on IT. And the W Club has priority information on that stuff, and they relay that onto their members. For example, Fashion Royalty, let's just say Vanessa. There's a Vanessa coming out that is a IT dealer doll, and there's 1,000 of her, and she ends up being really, really popular, and you're not quick on your feet, you don't decide within the hour of getting the email that you want her, good chances is she's sold out. Especially with Poppy, Poppy's so popular. The last wave of Poppy, the second wave of Model Traveler, she sold out within 45 minutes or less. The Australian one was ridiculous. A lot of people were really upset.
That's something to keep in mind as well, is that, you know, even though you're in the W Club and you might think, oh, I have the confidentiality period, you still need to be really on top of your emails if you want to, you know, maximize your chances of getting these super popular dolls, even if they are dealer dolls that are just going out to the dealers. So another question I was asked on Instagram about the W Club is, should you get multiple memberships?
You know, it's actually a very hot topic right now on the W Club and members on Instagram if they should get multiple memberships. And personally, I don't think it is necessary. Most people get multiple membership not because they want multiple of the same doll, which you are guaranteed those 5 exclusive dolls. Maybe if you, for some reason, want multiple of those, you might consider getting a second membership. If you're strictly getting memberships for those lotteries, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you buying 10 or 20 memberships and racking up like $500 or $1,000 bill is worth entering these lotteries, because this doesn't really greatly improve your chances. Because like Max and I have been in the club for several years now, and it's all luck based. And like we have friends who enter too, and like collectively pulling our memberships together, it's a toss-up really.
It doesn't really dramatically increase your chances. One perk to consider, you know, is if you're the type where you want duplicates of the, you know, the same doll pretty frequently because you want to redress it or, you know, whatever, you may want to consider getting one extra membership, because there have in the past been certain dolls that are limit, you know, 1 per person.
The made-to-order dolls and like the exclusive, they're not limited quantities in terms of like IT only makes this amount and then you can only buy these amounts. They're made to order, so you put in your order and they'll make it for you, and those are usually limit 1 per membership. So if you have multiple memberships, you can purchase those. But again, you know, most people are satisfied with just 1, so, and I don't know why you want 10 of those, but if you do, you can get 10 memberships if you want. But those are 1 per membership. Most commonly, most people who get multiple membership are for the lotteries. And I don't think it will improve your chances very much.
No. It's up to your discretion. It's not really a common or necessity thing to do.
Yeah.
Generally.
And then, you know, you could mess up and be like, oh, this doll's gonna be so popular, I have to enter it, you know, 12 times, and then you end up winning 12 dolls, and now like, oh shoot, I have to buy all 12 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I mean, you could also write in the comments like, I just want 1 out of my 12 membership if I win any of them. You could do that, but some people forget.
So one of the last questions we wanted to address is, you know, just a general overview of the exclusives, which, you know, we don't want to make this video too much of an expanded conversation, discussion, and I don't even necessarily, you know, want to make this video very, very specific to 2020. Although, I think in the few years now that we have been W Club members, I can say that the exclusives overall, this year included, have been a mixed bag, you know, because I think there's definitely some W Club exclusives that come along, sometimes like even 2 or 3 or, you know, of the 5, the core exclusives, you're kind of like, you know, you might not interest you, but you know what? If that one exclusive comes along that you need in your life, that alone honestly pretty much takes care of it. I think in terms of 2020's exclusive, it was, once again, I would compare it to, you know, our 2019, 2018 experiences, in that there were a couple that I really liked, and there were a few that just weren't doing it for me. I think with Undercover Angel, you know, Poppy, she's a good example though of something you can come across where you don't anticipate, you know, a certain level of popularity or anything like that. And for me personally, I'm just not a huge fan of the 70s aesthetic and all that. I passed on her, and I ended up being very surprised at how hugely popular, you know, she ended up being. So that's really something to consider, is that the W Club exclusives have a tendency to become really major grails. So some of these exclusives that are attainable in the now, or attainable-ish in the now, they could end up costing insane prices on the reseller market down the line. So that's definitely something to consider with the exclusives, is if you have some level of interest in it, you should pull the trigger and buy it while you're a member in the moment.
It's hard to gauge though. Sometimes like you're in the moment, you're like hyped up and you're like, I should buy it. Like everyone likes it. And then down the line, oh yeah, I forgot I bought her. And like now they pay an extra $175 for her. Yeah, I mean overall the exclusives for me, I tend to like them. I think they generally save the best dolls for the exclusives because they want to sell as many dolls as they can. And again, it's made to order, so there's no rush on their part in terms of like guessing how much to make of a doll. So I think they saved the best ones, but they are pretty pricey.
What's really nice too, they definitely did this in 2020, and they've done it pretty historically too, is there's quite a bit of diversity usually in the exclusives. They're very different from each other because in 2020 we got really cute, sweet and youthful Poppy Parker, and then for New Face we got a long missing character with Reina, who is very modern and had this really effervescent verve to her, and then we got a very elegant FR. And so I think that's what's nice about the exclusives.
So I do want to mention something or add on to what Max said. There are certain characters that are exclusive to the club. If you are at all interested in Agnes, the twins, Reina, sometimes, like there's certain characters that they know that the popularity of them are so high that they make them their exclusives. So last year, Reina was been missing for several years, and people have been asking about her, so they finally made her an exclusive for the club. So if you're a fan of Reina and you weren't in the club, what are you gonna do? And Agnes has never been a IT dealer doll, so she's been exclusive to the club or
the convention.
Either,
yeah.
So there are certain things like that. Yeah, and there's certain characters like Misaki and the Jason Wu dolls. W Club doesn't handle them directly, but they do give you a heads up in terms of like, oh, these dolls are coming out. Make sure you follow these website or something and purchase them. So that's kind of nice. With your $50 membership, you are able to upgrade your membership with the purchase of 3 additional dolls that they call upgrade dolls. So generally speaking, it is 3 dolls from the 3 most popular IT lines. So that's Fashion Royalty, New Face, and Poppy. So every year, I think recently, in the past, New Face was replaced by Gem and other lines. But yeah, generally speaking, it's those 3 lines. We are filming this before they announce those dolls. That's another reason why you would need to if you want multiple memberships. So say, for example, that Poppy is amazing. You have to have 2 or 3 to, redress and whatnot. That is a means of buying multiple memberships because it's $1 per membership. Or one doll of each line per membership.
And worth noting as well for the upgrade dolls, sometimes it shocks you, and like the W Club exclusives, even though these dolls are usually a little bit more affordable and ergo a little bit simpler by design, they sometimes become grails. Yeah, because, even this past year in 2020, Lilith, who again, the upgrade dolls are made to order, her popularity outlasted the membership deadline, and there were some people who even were members and opted out to purchase her, and people got thirsty for her later. It's something to consider as well that if you want a shot at these upgrade dolls, you should sign up. Particularly because they have now I don't know if they're necessarily going to continue this into the future, but in 2020, pretty much almost every upgrade doll seemed like it was intended to pair with, like future lines that they released, so the Poppy they released as an upgrade doll paired with the Model Traveler collection. The Lilith they released paired with the Eden, although Eden was released
last year, previous year.
So the Lilith paired with Mademoiselle Eden, and Eugenia was a recreation of an incredibly popular Grail.
And she's part of the Maison FR line.
Yeah, she's pretty much Maison FR. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you want to collect them all. Sometimes you have to make the commitment in advance for the upgrade dolls.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nice sneak peek to what's coming in the club
Yeah,
year.
I think they were especially clever about it in 2020.
Yeah.
All right, so that covers our top reasons to or to not join the W Club. If there's certain things you think that we did not cover, or if you have additional questions, feel free to sound off in the comments leading up to the membership for the 2021 club year. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. There is plenty more IT coverage coming on our channel, and we will see you next time. Bye.